Good morning, beautiful beings of light. This is Akasha, and I'm going to share some of my work with you to just give you an idea of what you can do to help yourself by working through all of these feelings and judgments and all the emotions that are coming to the surface now, so that you too can be more gentle with yourself. And forgiveness is very powerful, and many of us need to forgive ourselves. Many of us are aware that we've been here before. Many of us have made some choices in this incarnation that have been painful for us. And so I'm going to look at the camera or my screen, and I was about to do this, and I thought I would record it because it might help you let go and forgive yourself. So mirror work is one of the most powerful tools that I use for my own self-growth, and I share with clients, encouraging them to do the same. So this morning I woke up with a heaviness in my heart, and I knew I needed to forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself for not knowing any better. For all those lifetimes when I did not know what I know now. I forgive myself for choosing the easy way out. I forgive myself for hiding from my own self for so long. I forgive myself for choosing relationships that were rather painful. And I forgive myself for ever harming my girls by my choices. I forgive myself for judging myself as unworthy or ever not enough. I forgive myself for comparing myself to others. I forgive myself for judging others as if they were not divine, as if I was not divine. I forgive myself for hiding for so long from myself. I forgive myself for distracting myself from myself. I forgive myself for all those things I put in my body that were not for my highest and best good. I forgive myself for staying. I forgive myself for running. I forgive myself for spreading my legs. And giving far too freely. I forgive myself for all those names I called myself in my head. I forgive myself for comparing myself. I forgive myself for not being a good enough friend, for thinking I'm not a good enough friend, and for actually not being a good enough friend. I forgive myself for my pattern of making excuses. I forgive myself for taking so long. There I go with that self-judgment again. I forgive myself for ever letting ever thinking another knew better than I did. I forgive myself for all those years of not following my intuition and not following my higher guidance. I forgive myself for beating myself up for so long. I forgive myself for rejecting my body. I forgive myself for judging my wrinkles and my teeth and my hair. It's always a fucking mess. I forgive myself for not showing up enough for you. I forgive myself. I forgive myself for all those I harmed, either unintentionally or intentionally. I forgive myself for all those babies that I chose not to birth. I forgive myself for all those times I thought I didn't try hard enough or wasn't strong enough. I forgive myself for all those I've disappointed and let down. I forgive myself for not loving me, for not knowing how to love myself for so long. I forgive myself for not standing in my power a long time ago. I forgive myself for running from me, thinking I needed to find me in something or someone else. I love me. It has been a long time and it has taken quite the life. But today, I love me. And I am proud of myself for being more of myself than I ever have been. I am so proud of myself for putting myself out there like this. Because I would have never done this before. But I know how important these times are. And if it is this intense for me, oh boy, it must be super intense for you. And so, I forgive myself. I forgive myself. And I laugh at me. Because there's nothing to forgive, my love. There's nothing to forgive. You've always been divine. You've always been love. You have always been enough. You have always been so sweet and innocent. You've always been so brave and vulnerable. You've always given so much of yourself. You have always been love. You have always been love. You have always been the light. There's nothing to forgive. There's nothing to forgive. You are beautiful. You are beautiful and divine, just the way you are. There is nothing to forgive. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for showing up each and every day for yourself. Thank you for doing the work. Thank you for being brave enough to be raw and authentic and to show who you are and to speak your truth. Thank you for leading the way. Thank you, my love. There is nothing to forgive. There is nothing to forgive.
Good morning.
I love you. Oh, I have to say good morning to my neighbor now. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for sharing in my shadow.